Picture this. It's 1936 on the outskirts of Baghdad, in a dusty, sun-baked village called Kujut Rabu. The air is thick with the scent of earth and the distant hum of progress as Iraq stands on the edge of modernity. Here, life moves slowly, with villagers tending to their daily routines, unaware that something extraordinary lies just beneath their feet. A team of workers, hired to lay down a new railway line, dig deep into the untouched soil. Their shovels and picks strike the ground rhythmically, carving a path for the future, unaware that the past is about to reveal itself in a most unexpected way. Suddenly, the sharp clang of metal against something hard interrupts the monotony. A worker's shovel has struck not a rock, but a small earthenware pot, caked in centuries of dust. The object is carefully unearthed, its surface etched with the marks of time. At first glance, it appears to be just another relic, an ordinary pot, perhaps used for storage. But as the dirt is brushed away, something unusual is revealed inside. A copper cylinder, an iron rod, all sealed tightly with bitumen. This is no ordinary vessel. News of the find quickly reaches Austrian archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig, who is working nearby. He examines the artifact with a practiced eye, turning it over in his hands, sensing that this is not just another piece of pottery from the past. The components, copper, iron, and a thick, tar-like insulator, suggest a level of sophistication that seems out of place for its time. Koenig is struck by the deliberate construction, the way each piece fits together, as if designed for a specific unknown purpose. Driven by curiosity, Koenig proposes a radical theory. What if this ancient pot is actually a battery, a primitive galvanic cell capable of producing electricity long before such technology was thought possible? If Koenig is right, this artifact would predate Alessandro Volta's famous battery by nearly 2,000 years, rewriting the history of science and technology as we know it. But the world has little time for ancient mysteries. With World War II raging, headlines are filled with conflict and chaos. Koenig's astonishing claim is largely ignored, lost in the noise of a world at war. Decades pass, and the so-called Baghdad Battery is tucked away in museum archives. Yet it refuses to be forgotten. Eventually, it resurfaces, sparking heated debates among scientists, historians, and curious minds alike. Was this mysterious pot truly a source of ancient electricity, or simply a misunderstood artifact with a more mundane purpose? Theories abound, but answers remain elusive. The mystery deepens as researchers dig through archives, conduct experiments, and debate possibilities. The search for the truth is just beginning, and the world is watching once more. What was this little pot really for? Was it a vessel of ancient power, or simply a puzzle from the past, waiting for someone to unlock its secrets? Let's break down the Baghdad Battery, a mysterious object that has fascinated archaeologists and scientists for decades. At first glance, it might seem like just another relic from the past, but a closer look reveals something far more intriguing. It's a small terracotta pot about 5 inches tall. Looks like any other ancient jar you might find in a museum. Its unassuming appearance hides a much more complex story, one that has sparked debate and curiosity around the world. But inside, there's a rolled copper cylinder, carefully fitted and sealed with a thick layer of bitumen. Suspended right in the center is an iron rod, positioned so it never touches the copper. This arrangement isn't random, it's engineered with purpose. The copper and iron are separated, with bitumen acting as an insulator, preventing the metals from coming into direct contact. This detail is crucial, as it allows for a controlled environment inside the jar. This setup is classic for a galvanic cell, 2 different metals separated and ready for a chemical reaction if the right liquid is added. It's the same basic principle behind the batteries we use today, just in a much older form. The iron rod is corroded, suggesting it's been through some kind of reaction over time. This corrosion hints that the jar may have once contained a liquid, possibly something acidic, that triggered a chemical process. Add an acidic liquid, like vinegar, lemon juice, or even wine, and you have the basic ingredients for a battery. The acid acts as an electrolyte, allowing electrons to flow between the metals and generate a small electric current. It's simple, but the design is precise, deliberate, not accidental. Every component seems to have been chosen and assembled with care, suggesting a deeper understanding of materials and their properties. The artifact challenges our assumptions about ancient technology. Could people 2,000 years ago have understood the basics of electricity? Or were they experimenting with something they didn't fully grasp? Was it really a battery, or just a clever container for storing scrolls, sacred texts, or even precious liquids? The possibilities are as fascinating as they are mysterious. The components fit together perfectly, but the true purpose remains a puzzle. The intrigue deepens, inviting us to keep searching for answers and to reconsider what we think we know about the ingenuity of the ancient world. How was this device made? The materials, clay, copper, iron, and bitumen, were all available in ancient Mesopotamia. A potter shapes and fires the jar. A metal worker rolls and seals the copper cylinder. The cylinder is placed inside the jar, sealed with bitumen for insulation. An iron rod is suspended in the center, held by another bitumen plug. The missing piece. An acidic liquid, maybe vinegar or grape juice, poured inside. This would trigger an electrochemical reaction between the metals. The result, a small but real electrical current. The process is straightforward, but the intent is mysterious. Was this a deliberate invention or a happy accident? The craftsmanship suggests purpose. The stage is set for experimentation. What could this ancient device actually do? If this was a battery, what was it used for? One theory, electroplating, using electricity to coat objects with precious metals. Some ancient artifacts show thin, even layers of silver or gold, hinting at this technique. Another theory, medical use, delivering mild electric shocks for healing or ritual. There's no evidence of ancient light bulbs, but these uses fit the technology. The line between science and magic was thin in the ancient world. Whether for art or healing, the battery theory suggests surprising sophistication. But is there proof? Theories are one thing, experiments are another. It's one thing to imagine how an ancient device might have worked, but it's quite another to actually put those ideas to the test in a real-world setting. Only through hands-on experimentation can we begin to separate fact from speculation. Over the years, scientists and passionate enthusiasts alike have built countless replicas of the so-called Baghdad Battery, carefully reconstructing the clay jars, copper cylinders, and iron rods based on archaeological findings. When these replicas are filled with acidic liquids like vinegar or grape juice, substances that would have been available in the ancient world, they begin to generate a small but measurable voltage. Each jar produces about half a volt, just enough to register on a modern voltmeter. It's not much, but it's proof that the basic principle works. In the 1970s, German archaeologist Dr. Arne Egerbrecht famously claimed to have used these replicas to electroplate a thin layer of gold onto a silver surface, suggesting a possible ancient use for the device. However, his methods were never fully documented or independently verified, leaving some doubt about the accuracy of his results and the true capabilities of these ancient jars. On Expedition Unknown, we decided to take on the challenge ourselves. We built our own battery replicas, following the ancient designs as closely as possible. By linking several jars together in series, we increased the voltage and attempted to electroplate a copper medallion with gold, just as Dr. Egerbrecht had described. The process was painstakingly slow, requiring patience and careful monitoring, but after several hours, we began to see results. A thin, glimmering layer of gold gradually appeared on the surface of the medallion, confirming that electroplating was indeed possible with this ancient technology. Our experiment proved that, under the right conditions, these jars could be used for electroplating. It was a thrilling moment for everyone involved. But as exciting as these results are, possibility does not equal proof. Just because something can be done doesn't mean it was done in the past. The evidence remains tantalizing, offering a glimpse into what might have been, but it stops short of being truly conclusive. Scholars continue to debate the true purpose of these artifacts. Could the ancients have really mastered this technology, or are we projecting modern ideas onto the past? The discussion is far from over. Replicas show us what's possible, But the original intent behind these mysterious jars remains one of history's most intriguing puzzles. The mystery, for now, remains alive. Most archaeologists remain skeptical. They argue there's no supporting evidence, no wires, no texts, no clear electroplated objects from the era. The jars were found without context, mixed with unrelated artifacts. A leading alternative theory, these were scroll jars, designed to protect sacred texts. The copper cylinder could hold a papyrus scroll, the iron rod for support, and bitumen for sealing. Similar jars have been found elsewhere, used for storing documents. The battery theory is possible, but the scroll jar explanation is simpler and fits the evidence. For now, the experts lean toward the mundane. Mysteries attract wild theories. Some claim the Baghdad Battery is proof of lost civilizations or even alien visitors. Ancient astronaut theorists argue the technology was a gift from extraterrestrials. Others link it to Atlantis or forgotten golden ages. But there's no evidence for aliens or lost super civilizations. The real story is likely more human, ancient ingenuity, not science fiction. The battery's true origin remains grounded in earthly mystery. So, what does the Baghdad Battery really tell us? If it's a battery, it rewrites history, proving ancient knowledge of electricity. If it's a scroll jar, it's a case of modern minds projecting technology onto the past. The debate highlights a tension in archaeology, balancing evidence with imagination. The battery theory is plausible, but lacks context. The scroll jar theory is simple, fitting the available facts. The artifact forces us to question our assumptions about ancient innovation. Was it lost genius or just a clever container? The answer remains elusive. The mystery endures. After all the tests and theories, the Baghdad Battery's true purpose is still unknown. The original artifact was lost during the 2003 Iraq invasion. Only replicas and records remain. Replicas work as batteries, but there's no direct evidence of ancient use. The scroll jar theory is simpler and favored by most experts. The battery theory inspires us to rethink ancient capabilities. The artifact is a symbol of the mysteries still hidden in history. It challenges us to look deeper and question what we know. Whether a lost spark of genius or a misunderstood jar, its story isn't finished. The past holds secrets yet to be uncovered. The journey to understand continues.